These are the first few lines of Howl by Allen Ginsberg, and they go like this. I saw the best minds of my generation destroyed by madness, starving hysterical naked, dragging themselves to the Negro streets at dawn looking for an angry fix, angel-headed hipsters burning for the ancient heavenly connection to the starry dynamo in the machinery of night, who poverty and tatters and hollow-eyed and high sat up smoking in the supernatural darkness of cold water flats floating across the tops of cities contemplating jazz, who bared their brains to heaven under the L and saw Mohammedan angels staggering on tenement roofs illuminated, who passed through universities with radiant cool eyes hallucinating Arkansas and Blake-like tragedy among the scholars of war, who were expelled from the academies for crazy and publishing obscene oaths on the windows of the skull, who cowered in unshaven rooms in underwear, burning their money in wastebaskets and listening to the terror through the wall, who got busted in their pubic beards returning through Laredo with a belt of marijuana from New York, who ate fire in paint hotels or drank turpentine in Paradise Alley, death or purgatory to their torsos night after night, with dreams, with drugs, with waking nightmares, alcohol and cock and endless balls, incomparable blind streets of shuddering cloud and lightning in the mind leaping toward poles of Canada and Patterson, illuminating all the motionless world of time between, peyote solidities of halls, backyard green tree cemetery dawns, wine drunkenness over the rooftops, storefront burrows of tea-head joyride, neon blinking traffic lights, sun and moon and tree vibrations in the roaring winter dusk of Brooklyn, Ashcan rantings and kind king light of mind, who chained themselves to subways for the endless ride from Battery to Holy Bronx on Benzedrine until the noise of wheels and children brought them shuddering mouth-racked and battered bleak of brain, all drained of brilliance in the drear light of zoo, who sank all night in submarine light of Bigfords floated out and sat through the stale beer afternoon in desolate fugazis, listening to the crack of doom on the hydrogen jukebox, who talked continuously 70 hours from park to pad to bar to Bellevue to museum to the Brooklyn Bridge, a lost battalion of platonic conversationalists jumping down the stoops, off fire escapes, off windowsills, off Empire State, out of the moon, yakety-yakking, screaming, vomiting, whispering facts and memories and anecdotes and eyeball kicks and shocks of hospitals and jails and wars. And then the rest will be in the episode after. See you there.
This is a story about destruction. About a world burned and burned again. Burned over. This is a story about the death of a world. A world that died so long ago there are none now who remember it. We took refuge here, in Convergence Valley. In this isolated place, we could be saved from the devastation that fell outside, and as the world burned, we hid away here, among the peaks. Beside the slope of Do Not Go There, at the end of the world, in the vast, barren expanse of the flats, yes, at the mouth of the river that is her mouth. It was a strange and hostile place, but in a world gone mad, it was home. And we survived. And maybe, for a time, we thrived. And then the unthinkable happened. Shoots through the ashes. Little by little, the world once burned over, well, it began to heal. Green shoots returned to the flats. The winds that cut us off from the outside world were becalmed, caught in the doldrums of something else, something waiting. And Convergence Valley was no longer a place of refuge, but a prison. Or was it something else? This is a story about what happens when a nation falls. This is a story about what happens when everything we took for granted is upended and destroyed. This is a story about a shelter torn asunder by the forces of human lives and human will. This is a story about that most destructive thing of all. This is a story about hope. Welcome to Convergence Valley, or what's left of it.
Welcome back, everyone, to Desperate Attune, and to our first proper session of Apocalypse World Burned Over. Last week we had session 0. We introduced our characters, and this week we're gonna get into the swing of things, get into the game. I am Holly, your host, and I will be running this session and indeed this season. And with me are my usual crew of loyal players, starting this time with Salty. Hello, Salty.
Hi, my edges are loyal and my floor is unreliable.
Thank you.
I don't know about that.
Yes. Moving on to Tree.
నా పేరు సౌమిత్రి. లాస్ట్ టైం నేను కన్నడలో మాట్లాడాను, ఈసారి తెలుగులో ట్రై చేద్దాం అనుకున్నా. సో నమస్కారం.
That was very fast. Also, Aadiyat, hello.
Aadiyatです。よろしくお願いします。
Yes. And
Yes, I am so yes, I am vindicated.
and also, Zoheb.
Min heter Zoheb, jag är rollspelare och podcaster
I will
Okay.
never die.
och forskar.
I will live literally forever.
Okay. And
Why would
that's
you
our
want to?
No comment.
What's at the end of forever?
I didn't know that speaking Norwegian is how a tree becomes immortal.
Yes. We are the Attune apocalypse, and Tree is immortal. And that about catches you up. No, it doesn't. We will also need to catch you up on what happened. So, in Apocalypse World Burned Over, normally you make some moves at the beginning of a session to sort of start you off, get you rolling. But since we wanted to get in the swing of things with our characters, we did that actually last week. So if you haven't listened to last week, you should probably listen to that first, because it's where we introduce our characters. But to bring you up to speed on what is going on, we saw our characters introduced, and we saw a couple of things happen to them. So Minotaur and Perfidelity Evergreen are out in the field known as the Flats in horrible weather. And they are out there in part because Minotaur's home has flooded, and Minotaur is in search of a new home. Unfortunately, out in this field is also, unbeknownst to them initially, a person named Fennec Garibaldi, who is there because Fennec is hunting for Perfidelity Evergreen as a competitor in the prosthetics making business. And there may be other reasons for that as well. And where we left off, the pair have just been found by Fennec et al. Do you have anything to add about your situation, Minotaur and Perfidelity?
No.
I am very sick. Ugh. Ugh. That is my
Yes.
my state of being.
Sick
Yes.
as fuck.
That is true.
Oh,
Perfidelity is also
are
unwell.
we-
Yeah.
Are we seeing the return of the greatest character of all time? Because I'm
Yes.
not against it. I would love to see Augustus Khan again. I'm just saying that's what that sounded like.
Yes. Meanwhile, while this was happening, Ahiri, the Maestro D, has heard news of a person named Disco Gilgamesh coming to. I'm trying to remember your pronouns now. Professionally, so professionally you are she.
I'm
So
Shiva,
her-
yes.
Yeah. So
Correct.
coming to her establishment in this context, because it is probably a matter of business and not a personal matter, at least. So Disco Gilgamesh is the sister of a person you had executed for misbehaving in your establishment. And also, the scene that started us off was that Lady Iskandaric, the commander of a gang known as. Does your gang have a name? They do, right?
はい、赤鬼といた。
What are you doing?
I'm gonna. Yes.
Aadiyat,
Yes.
I need
Yes.
you to keep this energy until the day you die.
Good.
Tree needs
Okay.
you to become Japanese.
Yes.
Yeah, why not? I mean,
This is how Tree wins immortality. Apparently, turning people Japanese and Norwegian.
oh Norwegian. Yeah.
Yes, very good. No, but your gang has gotten wind of Fennec Garibaldi's absence from the Tower of St. Fulmin. And this is good news for your gang, because the Tower of St. Fulmin, while it is home to the local hospital and home to the local angel and home to, well, a great many things, it is also a site of valuable treasure. It is where the presidential palace used to be, where the city that has stood here since the apocalypse used to be. And yeah, the tower itself is also surrounded by a lot of interesting treasures. You do not have the scavenging rights to it, but maybe that doesn't matter since Fennek Garibaldi is away. Do either of you have anything to add about the situation? Last we saw you, Lady Iskandaric was about to head out from Sikari's regret. Have I missed anything?
Yes, and I had attempted to give Iskandaric's lieutenant some advice that maybe hitting the one person who, is responsible for keeping our bodies functioning is a bad idea. Please don't do that. And the way that I had done that is that I had tried to convince Luke that... Luke? Did we settle on Luke or Luca?
Luca?
Luca,
yeah. I tried to convince Luca that there is no way that it really is undefended, and in reality, it's probably like some kind of this is 7-dimensional chess trap.
Yeah, that is true. Beautiful. So that about brings us up to speed, I think, and
yes,
let us get into it. Let's begin out on this field. Fennek Garibaldi has introduced himself, and Fennek Garibaldi is a blonde person, usually wearing a gas mask, quite intense eyes. I imagine a rather elegant build. I think tall but slender. Out here in the bad weather, in like the rain and wetness in the flats, his build is a little more imposing, has a wide coat on and so on, which Minotaur also does, right? You're both pretty bulked up. And I think for the moment, it is not obvious that you are sheltering Perfidelity within your coat, Minotaur. I think it's obvious that you are not here alone, but it's not, totally clear what is going on. Is that a fair assessment of the situation?
Yeah, I think so. He has introduced himself, right?
Yes, he has introduced himself, and you know him as the bodyguard of Angelica, the maker of prosthetics and the repairer of bodies.
Yeah.
And he has asked you about Perfidelity. That
Yes.
is basically where we left off.
Now, I had a question here, which is, the reason this person is going after Perfidelity is because Perfidelity had the miss on the port of call thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, Perfidelity, you heard that this person is gunning for you, right? That's something that you know. Is that how it works? Because it's not just they are gunning for you. You know that they're gunning for you.
Word reaches you, so I suppose then I'll ask Holly, how have I found out? How do I know that Fennec's gunning for me?
Okay, I'm going to give you an unhinged answer. Your jaw told you.
Of course it did.
Incredible.
Because you have a prosthetic jaw that sometimes picks up radio signals and stuff and other signals. So,
Well, it is a talker.
yeah. Is that a fair answer?
Yeah, that's a fair answer.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine Salty saying no to that?
No,
I
but
can't.
I'm checking in.
I can. Only because they would prefer something even more unhinged.
Fair enough.
Like a snake, an unhinged jaw. Anyway,
Don't you talk about my jaw like that. You know I'm sensitive.
yes.
That's true.
So yes, I think you have a sense of this, and I think you can feel the buzzing of strange signals in your artificial bones.
Now, my second question here is this something Perfidelity has shared with Minotaur, or are these premonitions stuff that she keeps close to her chest? Usually.
I think before setting out, Perfidelity definitely would have said, I have a bad feeling about this.
Okay. But the name wasn't told to me, right? Okay.
No.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is because if I knew this person's name in connection to danger with my square, this person would be shot right now.
You can still read a person. Like, you can definitely try to read what Fennek is trying to accomplish here, if you would like.
I would actually like to put the spotlight onto Perfidelity, because I think what I'm going to say is Yeah, so he's introduced himself. I know who he is.
Yes.
Yeah, and I would say, you are far from the tower of sinful Mine, and Angelica, who is in your charge, Fenec Garibaldi. What is your business here with my squire? And I want to kind of like pass the spotlight over to Perfidelity to see how she's reacting.
Okay, how is Perfidelity reacting as Tar Minotaur says this?
Yes. So I think what happens here is Perfidelity kind of steps out from underneath the coat and goes, Fenec Garibaldi, can I help you? Why have you decided to confront us out here? It's as my master says, quite a way away from your comforts. It is terrible weather.
Okay, I think you're revealing yourself means there is definitely an immediate hostility as this happens. I think the vibe is that Fenec is not here alone, and so he does not raise his weapon immediately, but his people do. Like they train guns on you. And
how many do I count?
I think there are two that you can see besides Fenec.
Okay.
So there was a trio approaching you. Knowing
Okay.
Fenec Garibaldi, that might not be. I think he is known to keep at least one ace up his sleeve, but that's what you can see.
Okay. Guns are trained on my squire and myself. But so it's hard to tell what Terminator is ever thinking, even when the helmet's off. I think she has a poker face, but with the helmet on, you don't really see what she's doing, and there's not a lot of body language that emerges between the armor and the trench coat. But I think Perfidelity, you can sense the vibe of like, I want to see how you want to play this because it's your business first.
Mm-hmm. And so, do either of you want to make a move here, or do you just want to see what Fenec has to say?
I think, yeah, I would like to read a sitch because I think like even though it is Perfidelity's business, I want to get a feel for like the situation itself because I might have to intervene.
You may go ahead.
Yeah. So I think it's just read a sitch here, not Fenec himself. See, that's a 9. I can ask one question.
Okay. Please pick your question from the list.
Yeah. Who or what poses the biggest threat, and how can I tell?
Okay. I think the biggest threat, despite not having any guns trained on you, is Fenec. Okay. I think he's the most. He's the person who keeps these people together, and I think the way you can tell is that Fenec was never a knight like you were. But I think back in Knight President Sicari's days, when there was a state here, when this valley was under government and rule, I think Fenec was something like a town guard, like not quite a knight, but someone with some amount of authority. Although, of course, he was much younger then. But I think the reason you can tell he's the biggest threat is that he has actually disciplined these soldiers around him, who are, in fact, I think, younger and less experienced.
Okay.
And that is obvious to you from body language. In fact, it is obvious, I think, by how Fenec raises a hand and like calms them a little bit.
Okay. Do I remember correctly also from the previous session that you mentioned that Fenec is a sniper?
Yes.
Okay, so I would know that as well.
Yes.
Just from reputation. Okay.
Yes, and is not usually engaging in close quarters fighting like this.
Okay. Well, I have my eye on my squire. The spotlight is on them because this is primarily their business.
And so I think Fenec looks surprised, Perfidelity, at your direct addressing of him, but he does reply. And he says, I think, it's the tower. Angelica didn't send me for this, but the tower does not appreciate you making these creations of your own. You're aware of it. You can feel it, can't you? And he, I think he raises a hand and points at your face and says something in that which you wear and have made part of yourself is stolen. I don't know what. But am I wrong?
Well, you're certainly not correct in your assumptions, but I'm sure we can come to a reasonable course of action later on. Perhaps I can come with you with my master together, and we can figure this out. Ideally, when it is not pouring with rain out on the flats after my master has been unfortunately vacated from her long-term residence. I assume that you have brought cars or bikes with you that could fit another passenger.
So I think you're reasoning with someone, and I think what
Yes.
you're proposing is pretty reasonable. It's not your accusations are false entirely. It is like we should have this conversation somewhere better, which I think is fair. So, to reason with someone, propose a mutual course of action, which you have, and roll plus cool.
I am backing this play with my presence.
Okay.
Even though we are outnumbered, I am a knight of the Order of the Worm, and my reputation precedes me.
Okay, when you back someone's play, back the play of someone making a roll your history with them, and you do that
Yeah.
first. So
Yeah. So I'm going to do that first. My history with my squire is, I think, 2. Yes, it is. That's good. It's a 4. It's a miss.
Okay, so I think what this miss of you backing them silently with your proposal, it is simply something you realize. It's not something that changes in the world. And it is that Fennec, it's not a problem with Fennec actually, it's these roustabouts that Fennec has gathered into a force and an army. They hate the knights. They are people who lived under the oppressive system of feudalism before the revolution, and in fact they are glad to see Knight President Sikari gone, and they wish the rest of you would be wiped out along with her.
I see.
Fennec is actually the most reasonable person in this exchange. The troops pointing guns at you would be happy to shoot you just to shoot you.
Well, I believe in chain of command. So if Fennec is okay with it, then I'm not about to draw my gun.
Yep. All right, let's see how it goes for Perfidelity.
Yes. Okay. So I've got +1 cool. See how it goes. That is a 9. So on a 9, so they have to choose, set reservations aside, or go along with you, or they can seem reasonable about refusing. Here.
I think in this situation, what is going to happen is that Fennec agrees to have a conversation somewhere more pleasant. So I'm choosing they go along with this. There's no necessarily any counter proposal. However, you get not an inch more than what you've asked, which is basically to have this conversation somewhere more pleasant. And so I think Fennec just says, fine, it's not a bad idea. Hopefully you can be brought to see reason about this. Back then. And I think what happens, the vibe here is that Fennec walks backwards and not taking his eyes off you, and nor do the troops. You still very much have people pointing guns at you. But you are being escorted somewhere. And where you're being escorted, I will tell you this. We will cut away, but I will tell you this ahead of time. It is not to a set of vehicles. It is, in fact, you were out here looking for an abandoned farmstead. And this farmstead is up on a hill where you first sensed their movements. And you unwittingly had walked right past it. Because in the bad weather, you couldn't see it. They're taking you back there.
Okay.
So, yeah, they have made a little camp. Whether or not they have vehicles is unclear, but they have, for now, a house. But let us check in at how the other PCs are doing. And starting with Lady Iskandaric. So your crew has been assembled.
Correct.
On their 4-wheelers. And I suppose I'm more or less ready to roll out. So tell me, do you have anything that you will say to them? Do we open the scene as you are leaving Sikari's regret? Or
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So first of all, sorry, Tree. My Japanese is quickly going to. I want to reach the limits very quickly, so I'm switching back.
It's fine. I appreciate it, and we will we will both advance this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah.
No worries.
2 sentences this week, 3 next week, and then
Yeah, and so on.
at that rate,
The world is our omae wa shinderu.
What he said. Yeah,
It's
so,
you're already dead, but you're immortal. That doesn't make sense for you.
Makes perfect sense, but okay.
So as Lady Iskandaric is so they've lined up. They're if they're ready to go. Now, out of character, I know that my lieutenant thinks that this is a trap. Right?
Yes.
Is Luca going to say something about it before we go, or
yes? I think he is. So you've gathered up your troops. You're about ready to hold a speech to them or tell them where you're going. But I think this makes sense. So as you look over to Luca, I think he drives up next to you, and just kind of leans over, and he just goes. He's very casual about this, which I think he often is. He casually just says, "Hey, we're sure this isn't some sort of trap, yeah? Should we scout it out a little more? Maybe there's something that Cartometric missed."
And he's saying this to Iskandaric away from the others?
Yeah, he's saying it to you in private. I feel like this is your vibe. You have these conversations apart from the others, right?
Okay. I think before Iskandaric replies, because I think she does respect her lieutenant, I think I will try to get a read on him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Read a person. Go ahead.
Yeah, read a person. Let's see. And that's just a 6. Whoops. Couldn't read him.
So it's a 6. Yes. I think. What were you going to ask him out of curiosity?
What I was going to say is that what I was going to find out is how do I convince him that it is most likely a trap, but how do I convince him that this is still for the best? It's not that Iskandaric isn't aware that there's a trap, but
yeah. So I think the vibe here. I think the thing that's interesting to introduce is that he. So you try to get a read on him, and what you realize in a moment here is that he considers Ahiri to be smarter than you.
Keys.
So he. That is the thing, right? You might try to convince him of this. That of course it's a trap. We should go there anyway. But he thinks that Ahiri is, maybe not a better leader, but definitely cleverer than you are.
You know what? That might actually be in character for Iskandaric, and let's roll with it. So I think, all right. So I think what the angle Iskandaric goes for then is that, maybe something like, "You're going soft, Luke." Yeah. We've been sitting around Ahiri's. What is it? A pub, a bar, restaurant?
Yeah, it's all three, I guess. A pub. Let's just say a pub for now. A pub come fighting pit.
Oh, so a normal pub.
A normal pub. Yeah.
Pub on a Sunday. Pub on a Sunday footy pitches.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So she was doing soft, Luke. Just we've been hanging around at Ahiri's, chatting up with her, eating bread. Eating bread now, Luke.
Wow.
Okay.
I can't believe your bread shaming your lieutenant.
Ordinarily,
I think it says exactly what kind of place Iskandaric comes from. Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes. And I think what I said is like a trap. Yeah, it might be a trap. Most likely, it is a trap, isn't it? But we've been sitting around here, picking off a couple of farms, one caravan here and there, being security guards for a pub. Right?
Yeah, I think this changed nicely into another move. I think you have to reason with him now. Ordinarily, he just obeys you, but now it sounds like you're trying to actually persuade him.
Or is it the leadership move?
Because you
It
have
could
one.
be. You do have the leadership move. It could be, but the leadership move is more for the entire gang, and I think this is just one person defecting so far.
That's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think it's for now reason with someone to see if you can get him on site. Whatever the case, I think your miss means that he is convinced that Ahiri is correct, and this is indeed a trap. We need to be aware of it, but maybe he'll go through with it anyway.
All right.
We'll see.
Hang on, let me. Oh no, I have no points in cool. I'm uncool. Oh shit!
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. I think. What is the interesting consequence of this going wrong immediately? So, Luca can't openly disobey you. I don't think. Like, you're a gang. He's smart enough not to do that. So he's not going to say no to this. But what happens is that he looks you up and down and goes, all right, if you say so, sure. And he has a plan of his own to save his own ass. I think that's the worst outcome for you, actually. It's not that he backs down. It's not that he openly disobeys you. It's not even necessarily maybe that you can tell this, but Luca quietly just makes a plan to stay alive.
Would it be fair to say that my character, like Iskandaric, knows this? That Luca is not convinced?
I think you can sense that Luca is not convinced. Yeah, right. He is.
Okay.
He is not going to disobey you, but he is also not going to obey you if he smells trouble. Like the moment he smells trouble, he's going to improvise.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
unless you do something about it, of course. But reasoning with him has not worked and will not work.
All right. Okay. I'll. So Iskandaric nods at him to get back in line with the rest. And once he does, she comes around to the front. Gets on her own four-wheeler, stands up on the roof, and says, and I think Iskandaric knows that what they're about to do is risky and might be considered foolish because there's only like 15 of them. This is not the best outfitted gang.
Yeah.
And like she said, she's just worried that they've just been going soft since coming here. But hey, sometimes you gotta force it. And she says, right, as Metric might have filled you all in, Fenna Garibaldi has left St. Fulmina's Tower. Now, word is he's gone to put a bullet in some poor bastard. Doesn't concern us. What concerns us is that this is our best chance to make a big move. We've been here, we've been doing all right. We don't really have any respect. No one knows who we are. Really. We're gonna have to change that. Today. Now, Garibaldi's gone, but that doesn't mean that it's gonna be easy. I'm sure he wouldn't leave without some preparations to cover him. But we'll go over there, we'll scoop out the situation as long as each of us do exactly as planned. There should be no reason this goes wrong.
Yeah. So, I think you will actually have to make the leadership move here. And what the leadership move says is, when you give your gang an order, if it lines up with their impulses, generally they'll obey it. But their impulses are to close ranks and protect each other. And in this case, I think Luca being obviously uncomfortable with this, the impulse kind of collides with this. So roll plus hard.
Okay, let's see if I lose my gang on the very first session.
Roll with hard, and we'll see how it goes. And on leadership, I will remind you, still means that people obey you no matter what, but they may get upset about obeying you if you miss. And the situation is very precarious at the moment.
Come on now.
And it's a miss. You roll a 6.
Happening to this guy?
Tree
was right. He who's last
was you turned up last to them.
Yeah.
Can't wait to reveal that secretly I was behind this all along or something.
Yes. So what happens here is, I will read the move out. On a miss, maybe they still do it, but you'll hear about it later. Maybe they refuse, or maybe they even make a bid to replace you as the leader. And in this situation, the optimally worst situation is they will still do it. And when Luca improvises, they're all going to obey Luca.
Fucking hell! All right,
It's okay. You'll be fine.
So, and I think you can pick up on this. So you have a choice now. You can, if you want to, call off the attack plan and try to do something about it. But you can sense that everyone is pretty lukewarm about, this.
I see what you did there.
This plan. So if you go ahead with it,
no, we can't. No. Backing down now would be showing weakness.
You have to do it. You have to
do it. I have to do it.
All right. So you drive off towards the tower. There's less cheering than usual, but like your gang goes like, "Yep, I guess we're doing this."
I have one question. Do you have a battle song? A marching song? A driving song?
You don't want to know what it is? What came to mind?
Okay. I want to hear it in the next scene when you drive in.
Okay.
And so, Ahiri, let me ask you a question. Sicari's Regret is located in the Cloud Bazaars, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So what is the terrain around it, do you think? What do you think the area immediately around your establishment looks like? Is it roads? Is it a field? What's the vibe?
The way that I imagine this is that it is it's quite nice, but it's kind of like the Cloud Bazaars, as we described them, are a series of markets that kind of like all exist next to each other across this mountainous region, right? And I think Sicari's Regret is next to one of those markets, but like you can tell that the markets may be run by like whoever is there, but Sicari's Regret belongs to me, right? And probably like a mountain road runs past it. So if you were to sit outside the Regret and have a drink, you would have like a view of like the valley in front of you, which is
so it's
part
sloping
of the
down. Yeah. So I guess then we see this crew driving like down a valley, and then they would have to go up the other side of the valley towards the tower. Something like that.
Yeah, I imagine so. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So that's how they drive away. And Ahiri, let's cut to you for a moment. Having seen this outside, what are you doing, and what sort of preparations are you making for your visitor, and what sort of preparations are you maybe making for this gang rolling off to attack the hospital?
Yeah, it's a problem because I can't send someone to warn Angelica, because then the gang that lives in my pub will be annoyed with me. But I can't just sit here and do nothing because I owe Angelica. That's problem number one. And then problem number two is some rando's gonna turn up, and the gang that was supposed to be here when the rando turned up has just left. Like,
yes.
What is the point of you? Right? Okay, it's fine, you know. I am gonna do two
and you
things.
got your own gang.
I have something that you might call a gang, but I'm sorry to tell you that like you should never leave your base undefended. Lesson that I thought Garibaldi also knew, so no comment. I have a regular. I haven't named everybody on my list, but I've named like most of them, right? Like, and one of the people on my list of NPCs that I got to make up was your best regular, and I called him Professor Fulminia, a knight dash regular. I don't know what that means. A knight regular who has become an academic, apparently.
Okay. Good.
And I would like. I'm hoping he's here because I'm gonna ask him for a favor.
What order is he from?
It's a great question.
We have had the Order of the Worm and the Order of the Six Gun.
I think he is of a different order, and let us call it the Order of the the Order of the Frozen Lake.
Okay.
And I think he's from whatever we decided to call the lake, which I cannot recall now. Is it just the lake? No, it was something else.
Her mouth? Is that the one?
Her mouth. That's what we called it. Yes.
Oh, the cenote. Maybe
Yes,
it's Order of the
cenote.
Cenote.
Yeah, maybe it is. Okay, that makes more sense.
Mhm.
The Order of the Vanishing Cenote, because of course a bunch of ships apparently vanished there. That's a story people tell about the cenote, is that there used to be a lot of ships and then they just one day disappeared.
Okay.
So he was called cenote and then they appended it. Anyway, I want to ask him whether he'll do me a favor.
Okay. So let's see this Professor Fulminia. Yeah. So do you have any immediate impressions for what he looks like?
I do not. So I'm
Okay.
open to whatever you tell me about him.
In my head, so the Knights have a little bit of different coding things. The Order of the Six Gun have more of a cowboy coding. And I think that this person is like cowboy / ice fisher. So
oh yes, I love this. Yeah.
he has a revolver and a harpoon gun. And he equips both. And I think his vibe is that even indoors he wears like a lot of luxurious furs.
Yeah.
Including like the fur hood that he sometimes keeps up.
Yeah.
I think he's a very hairy man, actually. Also,
that makes sense.
Big hair, big beard.
I feel like he decided to dress like he was back next to the cenote, regardless of where he was.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's just like, no, this is what I feel most comfortable in. So I'm not next to a freezing lake, but nevertheless, right?
Yeah. It is a uniform of sorts. And what do you think his favorite activity is at your venue? Because you provide a couple of things. Is it the food, the fighting, the gambling?
I think he comes from for the food because probably he eats a lot of fresh fish. But I get food from, can we say that the market that I'm next to is like a food market? They sell like produce and stuff. So, and like that will explain where I'm getting my food as well, right? So, yeah, like I'm getting meat, vegetables, all kinds of things, and every day something different, right? So ideally, it's a good place to eat whenever you come. So I think that's like exciting for him.
All right, yes. So I think we see Professor Fulminia, this big hairy man, and he is eating one raw bell pepper with great enjoyment, just like biting into it.
You gotta respect it. Yeah, absolutely.
That thing's organic.
Yeah. And so he leans back and sees you come over, and he goes, yeah, what do people call you? Do they call you by your first name? Or do you have a title?
I think they call me by my first name, or I think it's fun to have a title actually, now that you've mentioned this.
Barkeep?
Maybe Barkeep. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he goes, Barkeep, you want to sit down? Enjoy one of these peppers? Very good peppers. I like them.
Yeah. Here, and I think I will produce a little salt, and I will say drizzle some on top. See if you like it. Not everybody does, but sometimes people do.
I'll give it a try. Usually I like food to taste like food, but he sprinkles the salt on top.
Yeah.
No, he's white. He's white.
I have just decided that one of Professor Fulminia's quirks is that he eats almost everything raw and unseasoned. Like he eats his fish raw too.
Very good. Yeah. This is something I keep in mind when I serve him, so that he doesn't accidentally get salmonella.
Yes.
Yeah. It's important for sure. Yeah.
But he,
and I will say,
humors you by putting a little bit of salt on it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a way to break the ice. Not that it needs to be broken, because he's a nice fisher. And I will say, So I don't suppose you noticed the commotion outside.
Oh, I did, yeah. I wonder what that's all about. They heading off somewhere? They're not causing trouble, are they?
They're gonna hit the tower.
What?
They
he sits up straight.
Yeah, I mean, yes, this is the correct reaction. And like, it's also why I didn't dress it up right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just
Damn you, Ahiri.
and I'm just gonna say, yeah, they heard, and so did I. To be fair, that Garibaldi's gone off somewhere and apparently left the tower unguarded. Now, you and I both know that it's not. I mean, it's not unguarded, but if it comes out that the gang staying with me made a play for the tower, the best case scenario is they get obliterated and then I make reparation. I would like that to not happen, but it's politically tricky, right?
Yeah, I think he inhales and he sits up straighter and goes, so Garibaldi abandoned his post, huh? Ah, that oathless tapeworm! And he grows quite red with frustration. He goes, so, you want me to head after the people who just went out? I've got friends, I can do it.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to pick your brain first. Like, it's not like, look, we don't have that much time for sure, but I don't think attacking them, ambushing them on the road is gonna help, because then either way, someone gets hurt. I wonder if there's a way to distract them instead.
Distract them on the warpath?
Yeah.
Well, there might be. I think, so I think you're picking his brain.
Yeah.
But I think you're in fact reading a situation, because you're asking for his advice to try to figure out how to deal with this.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it's a suitable place for this move.
Makes sense. That's sharp, which I have +1 in, because I'm a power gamer, and apart from weird and aggro, I have positive in everything.
You're not a very good power gamer, because I've got a positive in everything but aggro, because I took that sexy -2.
That's nice. I rolled a 5.
What's happening in this session?
Okay.
What's happening?
Yes, you are rolling very poorly, is the situation. Yes. And so, I think what happens here simply is that you ask to pick Fulminia's brain, you try to come up with a plan, and Fulminia just goes like, no, there ain't no time, the tower's too important. Minotaur isn't around. Oh, damn it. Guess I'll have to do this myself. Don't worry, though. I know just the thing. And then he just storms out.
Okay, I want to, like, before he goes then, or maybe I'll get after him and say, hey, wait, take some backup. And I'm going to send, I have a serious security gang of 5.
Okay.
And I want to send one of them, because if you're going to commit, you better commit properly, right? Like, there's no half-assing this. Fine, like, maybe this is the best way, right? And I'm going to send Egrevery, who is probably my top guard.
Okay. So we haven't exactly established the layout or the geography of this place yet. But sure, you're sending out Egrevery after Professor Fulminia, and Professor Fulminia has a plan. And
so I'm just gonna grab Egrevery and tell them, look, he's gonna go out, he's gonna catch the gang before they hit the tower. You know the tower's really important. And you know, I trust your judgment, but you back him up, right? Like, don't try and like disagree with him if he says whatever, right? Like, you do what you need. Because I think one of the key things about Ahiri is that if you trust someone, you better trust them to do the right thing. Otherwise, you don't send them at all, right? So.
Yep. Okay. Wonderful. I think we'll check back in on Minotaur, on the subject of her.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Professor Flaminia is heading out, and things are happening. The consequences of all of these failures are going to come crashing down on Iskandaric in a moment here. So, Tar Minotaur, let's start with you. You were escorted to this farmhouse on a little hill out on the flats. There was a failed attempt to farm here, but it is decent shelter. It is a place in which you can hide out, which is like not too far away from civilization now that you know where it is. And tell me, what about this farmhouse suggests to you that you heard that it was just abandoned because farming was going well, but what about this farmhouse suggests to you that a crime was committed here?
But before that,
Yeah.
we're being escorted here. Are they living here, or is it like a squatting thing? Because I was told that I could have this place without.
Oh no, they're not living here. They have used
Okay.
this as a temporary base.
Okay,
Like,
that's the first thing. Okay.
yeah,
That's fine.
so they are absolutely not inhabiting this. They're just using it as shelter. They figured it was a good place to set up camp and like keep a lookout for anyone coming through.
That a crime was committed here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is a crime in the post-apocalypse?
What is a crime to you? Because that's what I'm interested in. This is a crime that you would consider distasteful.
Yeah. There is a wall with like bullet marks at like varying heights. Some people were summarily executed here.
Yep.
But I have not heard of this.
No.
Thus, this was not a legal execution. This was not honorable.
Yep. Makes sense. All right. So that's the first thing you notice when you enter. And Perfidelity, asking you, what is unusual about the craftsmanship of this home?
Ooh, unusual.
Yep.
Yeah, I think got walls, we got I think that it's been built out of new material. It's not been repurposed. The walls are crafted from trees that have been cut down specifically for that. It's new planed lumber and the smell is still fresh even with the rain. But it's this mix of petrichor and sawdust.
Yeah, wonderful. So yeah, it's a relatively new farmstead, but it has also been you thought abandoned, but apparently the inhabitants were executed by some outside force.
Oh, so this is a very recent crime then. Okay.
Yes, I think so. Like not yesterday, but recent enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I think 2 more people are waiting here, which means that Fennec's total forces number 4 people besides himself.
Okay, because I had seen 2 people before, and you had implied that there were more people watching, but now it's confirmed that it was just those 2.
Well, the more people that were watching you were probably watching you from this house. So
okay, they are
the 2 additional people. Yeah.
Good.
Mm-hmm. So there are 5 people in total, which is usually more than enough to hunt down a single person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or to at least to shoot a single person once you found them. But anyway, you were shown inside, and I think you have had enough of a conversation with Fennec that he is still not brandishing a weapon. He's relying on his troops to do this, but he addresses you, Perfidelity, as you come inside, and he says shortly, like, well then, sit, make yourself comfortable, talk, and I will lay my cards on the table here. I expect to extract an oath from you.
For what exactly? I have done nothing wrong. I got permission for everything that I have salvaged from the tower, and everything in my workspace has either come from there, other places I have permission from, or from her mouth itself. Washed up on the banks.
I do not say that you've stolen anything. I say that you have made things which you have no permission to make, which you have no right to make. You are not entitled to meddle with the body in this way. Angelica has the blessing of the tower, but you have made strange modifications. Unpermitted modifications. And I think he glances at your jawbone, which seems to be, it's almost as if he's talking to your artificial jaw as much as to you. At least for a moment, it seems that way.
And Perfidelity shifts in her seat. I was not aware that there was permission required, Finnick Garibaldi, for such a important procedure. But I can seek permission. I would seek permission. It is not fair for a man and a woman who have such authority to keep it. That is not the way.
And who would grant you this permission? Angelica herself?
Why wouldn't it not be the tower? If the tower grants permission, then I would seek it from her.
I think he glares at you and he leans forward, and now there's something genuinely threatening in his tone. Not just he's kept his cool, but he goes, "So, have you spoken to the tower?" Before?
Whenever I have spoken to the tower, it has been very pleasant to speak to.
Do you think that you're telling the truth here? Have you communed with the Tower of St. Fulmina before?
I think I've got radio signals from it.
Yeah.
And they have indeed been very pleasant to listen to.
Yeah.
A knight does tell the truth. And I think at this point, Perfidelity is leaning forward despite the sickness, shivering still a little. I don't know what it looks like to the others, because this is a very frail looking, probably mid-20s girl in ill-fitting armor.
Yeah. So I think that you are acting under fire here. And the reason is that you are talking back to Fennec and saying that you have like the official blessing to perform these modifications. Not only despite what Fennec believes, but also importantly, despite what Fennec's thugs believe, because they are just negatively inclined towards all of you. So I think it's very important here whether you can keep it together under stress. Yeah?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, of course. I will point out here as well that, is this a non-violent situation?
Yes, it is.
Todd Minotaur has moved for this.
Yep, that is true.
Yes, but I haven't entered it. Still the same continuing thing, so I wasn't sure. I don't know. It's up to you, Holly. What do you think?
I think it's interesting to trigger it here because you have just entered into a negotiation and you have entered into a scene, and there are more people. So I think it's good to see this move. So it is called Dangerous Presence.
Whose move comes first?
I think because we set it up, let's do Perfidelity's first. Then, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, cool. +1. That's on an 8.
Okay. And what this move tells me is that on a 7 to 9, it's a little more specific than in previous editions. On a 7 to 9, you flinch, hesitate, waver, or stall. Choose which and ask the MC what it costs you.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think Perfidelity flinches here.
Yeah, flinches back a little bit. Perfect. I think this is where we trigger your move, Minotaur, because there's just been a sudden movement, which might be what triggers your move going off, because there's a non-violent situation, but there is some question about it now.
I have entered my dangerous presence. Let's see what it causes people to do. It's an 8, so I choose 1. Yeah, let's go for it. I've been itching for this. If I have any enemies here, they put their hands to their weapons. Ask them, see who does.
Yeah. So, I think that the flinching causes these people who have had their weapons trained, right? They have had them more or less trained on Perfidelity because it's Perfidelity being interrogated. But now as she flinches, the way I'm interpreting put their hands on their weapons is they point their weapons to you. Like they expect this is what their instinct is really about, right? They act on instinct now. They see something happening and they immediately turn towards Tar Minotaur, considering you by far the greater threat than Perfidelity. And so these 4 goons direct their weapons at you. And I think, you still get a 7 to 9. It's not a failure. So Fennec does I think believe you that you have spoken with the tower. And so what it costs you here is for all of this attention to be, yes, I know exactly what it will cost you, actually. So Fennec says, then you are not a knight, squire. Then you answer only to the tower. If it is true what you say, of course.
Oh.
Okay, then I make a move.
Yeah, sure.
So we're in how big is this room that we're in? Like, is this like a big farmhouse thing?
I think this is quite small. This is a shoddy farm.
Okay.
You know, it's a cabin, right? Especially if it's built with raw material, then, we're talking log cabin on the American prairie style. So it's not very big.
Okay. Then I think, under the circumstances, speed is of the essence.
Sure.
My hand moves to my holster under my coat. I pull out my revolver.
Okay.
And I shoot Fennec Garibaldi in the face.
Okay, I think first you must act under fire, because you're drawing a weapon while people have guns pointed at you.
Okay, so the reason I wanted to go for the revolver was that I thought this would be the one that I'd have the quickest chance to do. I'm not pushing back, I'm just clarifying.
Yeah.
So I thought this would be the one that I would have the quickest chance to do without acting under fire. But if I must act under fire anyway, then we might as well go all the way. So I will tell you what I do instead of pulling out the revolver. So because I have the guns on me, and I realize that I'm going to do this quickly, far quicker than anyone else who's not trained would be able to do. My left sleeve kind of like draws in. My left arm, which is a prosthetic arm, goes under my. I draw it in.
Yeah.
And it flaps open, and you see my exposed left shoulder. And there is an object strapped to the harness. There are several things strapped to the harness. You notice fuel tanks, but there's also something else next to the fuel tanks. A sort of buzzsaw looking thing. And I reach for it, and suddenly it kind of like slides down my arm, and then it kind of like clangs onto my gauntlet. And there's a buzzsaw on the gauntlet.
Okay.
And then with the right arm, I pull it, and it starts spinning, kind of like a Beyblade kind of thing. So yeah, I pull that. I think now I act under fire.
Yep. Sounds good.
Yeah. Let's see.
A Beyblade kind of thing.
Yeah, I pull it like a Beyblade, and then there's like this buzzsaw blade spinning on my arm, on my gauntlet.
How super cool is that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch some Beyblade in Japanese so that next week I'm ready.
Yeah.
So this is act under fire is with -1, unfortunately, but that is what it is. Okay. It's a 4, but that's fine. So I'm doing battle, right? That's the actual move I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
You are setting yourself up to do battle. Yeah. Describe the next part then. Yeah, because to do battle, you both act under fire and
attack someone.
Attack someone. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to attack someone. So I pull the thing. I start taking some bullets. I pull the thing, but it doesn't stop me taking the bullets. I pull the thing, and then I point it at Frank Garibaldi's face. And there's a horrible, like, clanging buzzsaw noise. Like, it sounds awful. And then a really, really loud clang. And then the motor stops, and then the thing launches forward at his face.
Okay.
Plus with hard. Oh, that's also a 4. Damn.
Oh, they both
We are
go
doing
wrong.
badly this session, friend.
Now, I don't think that you necessarily miss in the situation. I do think that you harm Fennec Garibaldi. I think what happens is simply he has time to flinch. So rather than this being an instant kill, there is like a slash across the face.
Ooh.
situation.
Okay.
And I think the next thing that happens is that, I mean, the 4 people who were pointing guns at you open fire at you. And let's see how harm works here.
Because, so on a miss, I take terrible harm, +1. Usually.
Yep, usually. And I think that makes sense.
It's just nice to know that everyone else is failing too.
Yeah. So I'm imagining that they have some sort of hunting rifles.
So those are actually relatively rare, and those are 4 harm weapons.
Yeah, that is true. So I think the vibe is they have something that they use as hunting rifles, but that isn't quite as good as hunting rifles, because they're, tinkered together. So let me...
Shrapnel gun?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So that's 2 harm, close, messy reload.
Yeah, and then they are a gang. So I think that they then do 3 harm to you by default, and it's 4 because it's a miss. So this is quite nasty, actually.
Okay, I have 2 armor.
So you take 2 harm still.
And I roll the harm move.
Yes.
+2. Okay, so that's an 8. The harm move. When you suffer harm, roll minus the harm you suffer. Actually, okay. So that's a 6. So
so they made it rolling low is bad. Instead of rolling high is bad, which is what it used to be.
Yeah.
So I rolled a 6 and I added a +2. That's not wrong. That's not correct. So it should have been rolling a 6 minus 2. So I got a miss.
Okay. Well, things are going very poorly. So the MC chooses 1. You're out of action, unconscious, trapped, incoherent, or panicked. It's worse than it seems. Or choose 2 from the list above. I'm going to choose 2 from the list above.
Okay.
And what will happen is that you lose track of something or someone you're attending to. And that someone is Perfidelity, if you're quite okay with that Perfidelity. Because I think Fennec not only dodges the attack, Fennec tackles you to the ground and pulls you away. Is that cool with you, Perfidelity, to take this as a consequence of someone else's? Yeah? I think you're pulled aside. And I think the other thing that happens, Minotaur, is you lose your footing. So Perfidelity gets away from you, and it's just, you're wearing quite a lot of armor, but there's just the sheer impact of gunshots. It's like with a bulletproof, with a bulletproof vest or something like that, it does knock the wind the hell out of you. So you stumble and fall backwards, and you are down on the ground. All 4 of them are between you and Perfidelity, who's being dragged away.
And these are shrapnel guns, so it's like a whole bunch of bullshit gets fired at me. So there's quite a lot of impact damage. I think it's largely impact damage, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Spotlight on whom?
I think spotlight on Perfidelity for a moment, because I think what the interesting outcome here is that Fennec believes you. And Fennec just says, like, fine. Do you renounce her? Do you leave her? Or will I have to make you go by force?
A knight never abandons her master. I'm sorry, Fennec Garibaldi. It is not your day today. And I would like to pull out my demolition hammer. And
oh my God.
I'm going to break his fucking hands.
Okay.
For doing that to my master.
All right.
I'm not trapped down here in the table with you, etc.
Yep. Okay. Well,
I think note that my demolition hammer is brutal, so I cannot hold back on this, even as much as I'm saying I am.
Good. All right. I think that you were also doing battle then, and to do battle, when you attack someone while under fire, or someone who can and will defend themselves, I think it counts, because this person was ready to draw a weapon on you and like escort you away on gunpoint, right? So, roll 2 pairs of dice, assign 1 pair to attacking and the other to acting under fire.
Right, so I've got first one, another 8, and then the other one is attacking someone. So I've got a +1 to both of these because I have a +1 cool and a +1 hard. I mark XP because I have rolled with cool 4 times. So I will put that
Very
there.
cool.
So that's an 8 and a 9.
Very good.
Okay. So, when you attack someone on a 7 to 9, choose 1. Inflict terrible harm, seize hold of something, get them out of your way, impress, frighten, or dismay them, or pin them down.
But you're also doing, like, how much harm are you doing? Is this person still alive?
2. this is 2 harm hand brutal, so I cannot hold
2 harm
back.
hand brutal. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So 2 harm, which is quite a lot. 2 harm is written in this edition as more serious injuries, more serious concussion, bad pain, a broken bone, not usually fatal, but can be if the attacker intentionally sees to it.
Okay.
3 harm is sometimes immediately fatal, so if you choose to deal 1 more harm, it could be fatal.
No, I think because I also got a 7 to 9 on Act Under Fire. I flinch back. I don't deal terrible harm to Fennec. I don't think Perfidelity has a killing instinct, especially so close and personal. So I think that's why I'm not inflicting terrible harm. But I think I am going to get I'm going to get him out of my way.
Okay, so you get him out of your way.
Oh, no, actually, I want to impress, frighten, or dismay him. I think that's a bit more interesting here, actually.
Yeah. All right. Impress, frighten, or dismay it is. So you smash up his hand. That is the thing that happens. You turn. I'm thinking you can't probably smash the hand that is actually holding you. So it's probably the other one, because I imagine he has his hand around your neck or something.
Yeah.
So you can't really hit yourself in the face. So
I think it's into the shoulder of his opposing arm instead. That shoulder joint is very, very weak.
Yeah. So there is this crash and a scream of pain. It's still a very serious injury. And you impress, frighten, or dismay him. He lets go. Yeah. Okay, this is interesting. So I think what happens is that you smash into him. He draws out a revolver, but he does not shoot you. He hits you with it. So what are we thinking that is? 1 harm?
Yeah.
Yep, I think so.
Seems reasonable.
So you're getting pistol whipped for 1 harm.
Cool. I take no harm because I have 1 armor.
Yep, makes sense. But you still do the harm move.
I still roll the harm move, yes.
So just flat 2d6.
So I'm taking harm. That's a 4, so I also miss the harm move.
Okay, so what I will tell you is this. He pistol whips you, and while you don't take any serious injury, you are knocked out or otherwise unconscious out of the fight. However, you may still act, because as your hammer crushes into Fennec's arm and as Fennec realizes what is happening, he is opening his brain to the psychic maelstrom. Would you like to join him?
As a treat, why not?
Yes.
I love opening my brain to the psychic maelstrom.
Let's see this move.
Do it.
That's on an 8. So I do get to hear something new and interesting about the current situation from the point of view of the world's psychic maelstrom. And you can also ask me a question or two. Yes.
And so, the new and interesting thing about the situation that you learn is that Fennec Garibaldi is, and this was maybe obvious to you from context before, is not actually that loyal to Angelica. Fennec is loyal to the tower. Fennec is a true believer in the message of the tower. And this is why he protects Angelica, because she is someone who can communicate with it. And now, the interesting thing you learn about this is that he is opening his brain to the psychic maelstrom. And my question for you is, and he will learn this also in this moment, because you're both opening your brains. Would you be willing to make him a new arm, more powerful and better than anything Angelica could make?
I'm a gear cutter. Of course I would.
Yeah, why would the answer ever be no?
Yeah, I know. But he will also learn this. He will learn about your true blessing to be one of the people who can modify the body, who can make it better, who can make it anew. And so you pass out, but you are drawn into this sense of the maelstrom. You can feel the tower speaking to you, buzzing to you in radio signals inside your jaw as you lie discombobulated on the floor. I don't think you're unconscious. The vibe is more that you're, stunned. You can't help out in this situation.
Yeah.
So your vision swims and floats. You hear the Morse code rattling in your jaw from the tower. And you understand. I think you and Fennec both understand that you could make Fennec into something new and incredible.
And I think, as soon as the demolition hammer smashes into his shoulder joint, Perfidelity is already imagining the impact, what happened, the fractures. I can make something new out of that. The sound of it, the splintering. How could that not happen again? Because I made my master a new arm.
Mm-hmm.
I could make another one.
Yeah, and a better one. Yeah.
From the moment I learned the weakness of my flesh, it disappointed me.
Yes. And let us cut away here to Lady Iskandaric.
Yes.
I think this is a good time for it. Lady Iskandaric, you and your crew are rolling up towards Saint Fulmina's tower.
Yeah.
You've made some distance some of the way there. The professor cannot catch up with you immediately. Or, well, professor. I imagine it's actually just his first name.
His first name is Professor?
Yes, his first name is Professor. And so I think your crew already begins to get uneasy, because as you get closer, the frequency from St. Fulmina's tower, which is still making all these strange broadcasts, begins to resonate and vibrate through your four-wheelers. And some of them begin to sing. Some of them begin to reiterate talk shows from long ago. There's conversations echoing out from the hull of them. And you hear something from your own four-wheeler. What do you think it is? What memory is being replayed by the metal in your vehicle?
I mean, it has to be the obvious, right? Hearing old football commentary.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Old football commentary echoes out of it.
Yeah.
And your crew gets even more uneasy by this. Clearly there's something weird about this tower. But you roll up on it, and things seem to be going fine, aside from this strange frequency that works its way into your vehicles. And then, the next thing you know, something passes overhead, over your crew, and it makes them all freak out. And the reason for this is that it is one of the old nightly flares. This is an alert system used by the knights of old when the government still existed. This called down the wrath of one of the orders on the location. And
that is
certainly,
a location where we are?
Yeah, it is. And certainly, while the knights are not allowed, it is certainly grabbing the attention of everyone. People at the tower know you're coming, and this is the sort of thing you would use to signal someone to spark a trap. It's coming from behind you, it shoots overhead, and it is alerting absolutely everyone to that something is going on over here.
It's really uncouth to say I told you so I won't.
Yeah, and your crew panics, I think. They have expected to draw attention, but this is a signal sent out by a knight or someone who has killed a knight and looted one of their flare guns. And so they freak out. Luca was already prepared for something, and so he just turns 180, and he has decided to zoom back towards whoever fired this flare. What do you do? And I will tell you, as Luca turns around, the discipline absolutely breaks down. People take off, some follow Luca, some follow you, some go off in another direction.
Okay, so as you know, this happens, and I think the first thing Iskandaric does is mutter under her breath something like, useless bastards, and then I think because she can't rely on her crew to give her the lay of the land, I mean, she's got to do it herself. And I think what she will try to do is so they're all scarpering. I think she tries to look around on her command vehicle to see what's going on, and when her eyesight's not good enough to see what it is, she tries to use the radio frequency itself to feel out what
Okay.
What's the frequency and who else is there? Because if our four-wheelers are resonating, anything else metallic nearby should also be doing the same thing.
It sounds like you're opening your brain to the world
I am.
psychic maelstrom.
What's
Beautiful.
the frequency, Kenneth?
What's the frequency, Kenneth? Yeah.
Okay, I mean, come on. This has to be more than 7. Please, go on. Oh, it's just 7.
Well,
7's okay.
Yeah, sounds okay.
The important thing is it works. And so, when you open your brain, on a hit, the MC tells you something new and interesting about the current situation from the point of view of the world psychic maelstrom. On a 7 to 9, you get an impression at least. And on a miss, be prepared for the worst. And I may also ask you a question or two. So, as you tune into the vehicle, I think this becomes a broadcast that is no longer in the metal of your vehicle, but it becomes a broadcast of memories. Of memories of the nights under Knight President Sikari, of this place as it used to stand. And the commentary, gently in your brain, in the forms of football commentary, of course, it tells you. So, how do I frame this as football commentary? I suppose it says, and here's Flaminia holding up the back up on the tower. I mean, it's not going to be football commentary that makes any sense because it's talking about the situation. But Professor Flaminia holding up the back on top of the Tower of Cubes. Oh, on top of the Tower of Cubes, firing the flare gun. Oh, what a move! The enemy team is in disarray. And Professor Flaminia on the Tower of Cubes.
That's the answer to a clue mystery.
Yes.
In our world.
Yes. With the flare gun.
Yeah, Professor Flaminia with the flare gun.
Yes. And I mean, you have met Professor Flaminia because he's a regular of Sikari's Regret. He is a regular where you hang out. So this is the information that you get, this sort of like strange muddled memory. But I think it also comes with muddled memories and flashbacks to the nights. And so I want to ask you a question, which is, what do you in this moment think about Tar Minotaur, who was here? And in fact, Tar Minotaur, Zoheb, why don't you describe a little bit of Tar Minotaur's moments seeing the aftermath of the president's death? And then Iskandaric can react to it.
Tar Minotaur emerges wearing basically civilian clothes, holding her revolver and her machete, rushing forward, having seen the crumpled form, and pushes everyone else back. And there's tears in her eyes as she kind of like strips the armor off to kind of like get at the broken spine of the woman underneath. And I think she starts like, someone tries to like pull her off and she starts like physically fighting this person and like draws her machete and there's blood.
Okay.
So, along with knowledge of the situation, you also gain a glimpse of this memory. And what do you think?
Interesting. All right. Well, I think Iskandaric's first impression when she met Tar Minotaur would have been, oh, this is some idealistic fool. But having seen this memory, I think Iskandaric gets a better idea of just how serious the Knights are. Yeah. And so maybe like before this, she had underestimated their resolve. Like, because Iskandaric has known about Professor Flaminia, and I think probably just didn't figure he would do anything.
Yeah,
and I guess that was a mistake.
Yeah.
Because even a former knight is. Sorry, is it a former knight or a knight still?
Former knight, I think. I mean, the knights. This is an academic point because the knightly orders kind of don't exist, but a lot of people still identify as knights. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay.
What Professor Flaminia exactly thinks about his knight status is unknown, but you find out that he is here and he has fired the flare gun from atop the Tower of Cubes. Which is obviously not the Tower of St. Flaminia itself, but you knew that because it was coming from behind you. So
if I'm still tuned into this maelstrom, what I think I would like to do is, to the crew generally, but to Luke specifically, say something like, calm down, it's just one guy, hold ranks.
Yeah. And I think his response to you, because you've already failed to keep discipline, is it echoes back over this like radio channel as your minds are connected. He goes, yeah, exactly. Just one guy. This is how we bust up the trap. And he is turning his vehicle around and charging straight at Fulminia. And what makes matters worse here for you is I think he knows where Fulminia is exactly, because he was ready to bug out and improvise, and he has been paying close attention. His plan is to pull out of the situation, deal with Fulminia, and then hang back and see what happens.
And can't let some lackey show me up. Yeah, I mean, I've lost the dressing room, as it were, in football speak. Already in the first scene. I think Iskandaric just has to beat Luke to the punch somehow.
Okay, so you want to outdrive him?
No, I don't think I want to outdrive him. I'm gonna somehow use my mind to. This is really far away. I don't think I can outdrive him. I'm gonna have to.
Don't you have a rocket tube?
I don't think I can shoot at my own guy. That'd be bad.
See, this is how you know that you're not committed to victory.
Well, tell me what you want to do.
I can't be the toughest gang boss if my gang is dead.
Don't have to fire at him, right?
Oh, you meant? Oh, sorry, you meant that. You meant shoot it at Saint Fulminia. Sorry, not Saint Fulminia. Professor Fulminia. Oh yeah, I could do that, couldn't I?
Yeah, or you could do it as like a warning shot, I suppose. Like, do it again, and you're gonna get fucking rocketed.
Yeah.
Doesn't want me to know that you won't actually do it.
Yeah.
Well, okay. That's a good option. That's a good option. What I would have liked to do is disable his vehicle remotely with my mind, but I could also do it remotely with a rocket.
Yeah. Or you could just take your hunting rifle and shoot the engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have rocket tubes.
You do. I don't think you can shoot Professor Fulminia because you can't actually see Professor Fulminia. You have an idea of where he is, but you can definitely try to take out Lucas' vehicle one way or another. With your mind or with a rifle or with a rocket tube in front of it to make it just drive into a rocket-created ditch. That's all good options.
Yeah.
You just named a bunch of insane things.
Like. Yes. Yes.
They're good options.
They're
good options,
Let's do it. I'm gonna...
They're good options, yeah.
And I will do it in the coolest way possible because I have to first catch up to Luke, so I'm gonna put the car into overdrive, and then while on a moving car, I'm gonna try to take a shot at Luke's wheel.
Is this something challenging?
Yes, I think this is something challenging. Yeah. I was wondering if we're doing behind the wheel, but I think the interesting thing is shot, not driving. So
I have -1 in aggro, so this will be absolutely disastrous.
Try to do something challenging. That might require strength, skill, great care, quick reflexes, or hard work. Roll aggro. Yep. Let's see.
Would it be less challenging if I use my portable rocket tubes?
No, but it would be more spectacular if you succeed.
No.
So you're shooting out his engine.
I'm going to shoot out his engine. I can't kill my second in command on the second session.
Okay.
Lamau.
It's a miss. And in this case, it is literally a miss because as you drive forward, your engine bucks and bounces upwards, and you shoot your second in command. You hit him instead of the vehicle.
Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. No, that'll be fine. At least I hit something.
So how much harm does your weapon do?
This is your... Huh? No, please go on. No.
It's 4 harm. He's gone.
It's 4 harm? Yeah, let's see. I'll bring back...
Yeah, rocket tube. It's a rocket tube.
I didn't hit him with a rocket tube. I hit him with a rifle.
You hit him with a rifle, yeah.
But that was a 4 arm.
It is quite a deadly weapon. So let's see. Now I need to look up when an NPC suffers harm again. It's here somewhere.
You do have your gang has armor, right? He'll have armor on, so it's only 3. Right? Because I'm pretty sure you get lightweight battle armor.
Yeah, he has armor. So your rifle
it's a good thing you're it's a good thing you're right close to Angelica, right?
Yes.
You're right close to the hospital.
It is. So he takes 3 harm total, which is sometimes immediately fatal, usually serious, multiple broken bones, organ damage, or unconsciousness. And I think the multiple broken bones here is you shoot him off a moving vehicle. So not only is he shot, he also falls. His vehicle shoots away, he tumbles into some crap, and the situation here is he's not dead, but he is in need of urgent medical attention, and it's a good thing, I suppose, you're near Angelica.
Oh. Now you can do like a invasion from the inside. This was all part of your great plan, right, Lady Iskandaric?
Sorry, I can do what now?
You can infiltrate from the inside.
Yeah.
They can't let you go.
So yeah.
Well,
that's what happens.
Cool.
That's what happens. Your vehicle bucks, bounces you upwards. Your shot goes 2 feet higher than you intended, hits Luca in the side. He falls off. He rolls around on the ground. His 4-wheeler shoots off on its own and spins out.
Right. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna drive past him, let him swarm on the ground.
Okay. All right. And is your plan to charge towards Professor Fulminia on your own vehicle now? Or is your plan to do something else?
Where's the rest? Where's the hell gone?
The gang is, well, some of them were going in the direction Luca were going, but they were just doing it because they were following Luca. They have no idea what's actually going on. As established.
Scattered?
Yeah.
They're doing Brace or Robin.
Yeah, some of them are scattering. Like, again, there was just, they were not sure what to do. So the vibe is like some of them successfully went in the direction Luca is going because Luca seems to know what he's doing. Some of them just didn't manage to turn around like that, and so just kind of, tried to go where he was going or tried to go where you were going, and then just kind of drove off somewhere else. This is all happening very quickly, and you're on vehicles, right? So some people just couldn't quite manage the turn and just kind of drove away.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to drive up towards whoever's nearby and then try to salvage this by saying, don't just drive straight towards a tower with a guy on top of it, drive around, so he has a harder time shooting you, zigzag, one of you draw fire, most of you draw their fire, I'm gonna come around and then get him from behind,
Yeah, do a pincer.
It's a classic pincer tactic. Come on, guys, what are we doing?
Yeah. Okay, so in this case, you are not doing anything that goes against their instinct. Their instinct is to protect each other. In this case, the goal here is to not get shot by whoever fired the flare gun. So I think getting them to do this just works, although not especially well because they're scattered and disorganized, but no one disobeys you. They try to do this to the best of their abilities. So you don't need to roll for that. If you want to circle around or something like this, you might have to, but I think this is a good moment to cut away and see how Ahiri is doing, and then we'll go back to the situation.
Why? I was suffering enough as
I'm just hanging out, man. I wouldn't worry about it.
So you have sent away your Professor Fulminia and one of your security detail, and now Disco Gilgamesh is turning up. So she just walks in, I think is the vibe. Like, you don't have security detail looking out for her. So this woman just walks in, and you recognize her, I think, by family resemblance. I think she is.
She looks like an asshole.
Yeah, by blood related to Bingo. She is this, quite striking woman. With brown, dark eyes, and I want to say she has like a blue cloak on that's made out of recycled plastics, like many, many times over recycled plastics. So the vibe is like little stray blue fibers fall off of it, as it's like like shredded plastic ice cream containers and stuff that have been put together. So she sort of flakes microplastics as she enters in an aura over them. And she immediately makes eye contact with you, I think, and steps up and just says to you, I suppose you know me. I'm here to make amends.
I would like to read this person.
Yeah.
On
Please do.
account of so I roll plus sharp.
Yeah.
Wish me luck, because I'm rolling badly. It's a 9. I will take the 9.
Mm-hmm. Ask
So
two
on
questions.
a 9, I get 1 question.
You get 2 questions actually when you read a person.
Oh, that's why read a person is clearly just a superior move.
Mhm.
Okay.
You do get a +1 on read a situation though when you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I get some idea of them, but I can ask them like during the interaction.
Yep.
Uh,
You can save
so
your
I
questions.
will
if you would like.
say, yeah, I will say. I suppose you are. Would you like a drink?
Very much. I think her eyes never leave you. She's very, very intensely focused on you, but she says, very much. I thank you for your hospitality.
No need to thank me. It's just the job. And then I will. I have a badly starstruck employee who thinks I'm super cool and amazing.
Okay.
And he does not know how to stop being a he/him. He's like, I'm just a he/him all the time. Why are you insisting that, like, what is this gender stuff? Why can't I just, like, be one gender all the time?
He's just a little guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a dude, you know. And I'm gonna yell, Karun, get me some of the Death's Head stuff, and mind the bar for a few minutes, would you?
Yeah. He nods and goes like, "Oh, yes, ma'am," and he like makes a little gesture of respect. I don't think he's the type to salute. Actually, I think he does a little bow. He does like a little flourish and a bow. That's his thing. He always does this with you, like waving his hand around.
I've told you you look ridiculous when you do that.
He goes, "Yes, ma'am."
Fine. And I do think that, like, while I have told him he looks ridiculous when he does it, at least, like, he's got a bit of spine about this, right? At least he's a bit like, no, I'm gonna stick to this. I'll take it. And, like, I will pour some, golden brown liquid into 2 chipped, maybe what they are is actually they are, in a past age, they might have been used not to drink out of, but to, like, those holders that you put those scented candles in.
Yeah.
Right? They're still, like, bowl shaped, but they're not that convenient to drink out of. Right?
No. Yeah.
But they look cool, I guess.
Yeah, they look cool and beautiful, and I think since the apocalypse was a very long time ago, they have since been used in the city under Knight President Sicari's rule. They were actually used as wedding cups, and so they have the names of happy couples written inside them in chipping acrylic.
And so, in a way, this is a deep insult to Hammurabi, because I am implying that I am drinking in some form of, like, jubilation and joy.
Yeah.
In this moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, Hammurabi is the guy who died. Disco Gilgamesh.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm insulting his memory.
Yeah, you're insulting his memory. Yeah, absolutely.
Because, like, with his sister, I'm like, he's such a great time, right?
Yeah. And I think her eyes flicker down towards it, and she looks at it with some amount of disdain, but she tries to swallow it. It's clear that this is troubling her as well. And she drinks, I think, in silence, and she says, "I'm hoping we can get along. Can we?"
I hope I can get along with everyone. Hard to do business otherwise.
Good. All right, I suppose I'd best get to the point. I know that my brother is dead, and there's nothing I can do to change that. I'm in no position to avenge myself on you, and I'm not here to try. I'm here to rescue what is left of the family fortune, and I would like to ask your help as humbly as I can. And I would like to ask you not to extort me over it. I know you could, but I believe you to be more honorable than that.
Okay, that's an interesting approach.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it is the kind of thing that I'm like, oh, that's cool. Are you telling the truth?
Yes, she is being entirely truthful. She knows that you are in a superior position to her. She has nowhere near the connections and stuff you do, and you had thugs sent to kill her brother. And like, she is kind of a badass, but I don't think she could take on Lady Iskandaric's entire gang, right? Nowhere near. Yeah. So she is aware that she is negotiating from a position of weakness.
Right. I take a drink myself, and I will say, I hadn't heard that he'd left anything. Never mind something like a fortune.
Well, I don't know exactly how much it is worth, but it's not a stash of old world goods or treasures or anything like that. It's information, actually. Of course, since he's dead, I can't exactly ask him. But I'm wondering if there may have been some clue among his possessions that maybe I could read. And if I do, I'd be in your debt. I know it isn't much to offer, but I'm telling you, if I had what he knew, I could make some money. I could bring some back to you.
Bad business to say this, but what happened to your brother wasn't particularly good business either. You've been honest with me, so I'll be honest with you. I don't need the money. But you look like you could take care of yourself. You look like anyone who could even understand the death of a loved one is, quite frankly, more mature and iron-spined than most people I know around here. I'll make you a job offer. 3 days a week. Meals, drinks on those days. Just to see how it goes.
That's very generous of you.
You have my help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She says, that's very generous of you. Very good. She hesitates, I think, a moment, and she looks around to make sure that no one else overhears this. And the vibe is very much like she does not want to trust you with this or to take this to you. But she's done her research, and she figures that, she can definitely trust you more than she can Iskandaric's raiders.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Mm-hmm. So she leans forwards and goes, if I must work with you, I will. Now here is what I know. The information my brother carried, it wasn't just in his head. He'd written something down on his clothes, or in his clothes, in a lining of a coat, something like that. I need to search them. I need to look through them. And of course, this is a problem for you because you were not asking for his stuff to be taken. That is all held by someone in Iskandaric's gang. Probably not even Iskandaric herself. She wouldn't bother with a bloodstained coat.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know who in that gang would love a bloodstained coat and think it really adds a certain something?
Mm-hmm.
Speed Freak?
I was thinking thick as a brick, but either way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could be Speed Freak. I don't know.
Speed Freak, because I think Speed Freak is an incredibly funny name.
Yes.
I will say there's 2 ways we can do this. The first is the lot that have your coat went out raiding. Can't speak to when they'll be back, but they're living on my property, and they don't particularly expect privacy from me. So we could take a look. We could wait for them to come back, negotiate with them. The reason I say this is, of course, and I'm sure you know, they're the people who I hired to do the deed. And I'm not suggesting I'm not responsible.
Yeah.
I'm saying they did do it.
Yeah, she nods, but I think there's definitely more resentment in her eyes towards these people. And, you know, I think she's done her research. She knows the story about this. It's basically you were the one who goes like, deal with this person. And then they are the people who decided to gruesomely kill him. That wasn't necessarily. Yeah.
So I think I'll say, fine. In that case, there's one more thing I have to ask you, and might seem strange, but it matters to me. Your brother, did he mean to be a dumbass? Or was it an error? Was it like just, something that he didn't think of?
Mm-hmm. She, I think she drains her drink entirely, and she says, "My brother was an adventurer and a fool. He gambled big. He bet big. He couldn't back it up. He was impatient. Comes down to that. I've thought about it a lot, and I don't think there was malice behind what happened."
Okay. Well, in that case, we should do it now before they come back. You never know. Sometimes people will just turn around. They could be knocking down the door any moment, and I'm not afraid of them, but why ask permission when you can ask forgiveness?
Yes. And I think the interesting outcome here is, of course, that like you can go through their things.
No, but the coat is out there, right?
Yeah, the coat is out there, and it is worn by. I think it's very funny if it's thick as a brick, who has this coat with like a coded message inside it. So.
Yeah, I mean, like to be clear. No, go on.
I think you can figure this out because she probably describes, his coat, and you remember what it looked like and so on, and you've seen thick as a brick wear it.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the reasons that I want to look through the rooms, even though I know it's not in there, is that like it's a measure of trust that I'm showing her, right? That I'm like willing to do this, and we'll look through it, and I think I will actually be like, I'm pretty sure Iskandaric doesn't have it, and the riffraff, whatever. Let's not search his room. So let's not search her room unless we have to.
Yeah, she says. I think she says, it's a good coat. I can understand if they would be using it. Will they be back?
They will. What state they'll be in, can't promise you. But, well, his killers are nothing but ruthless and interested in saving their own hides. So I don't think that they're gonna die out there. I think they'll come back, and they'll come back either with loot or with scars, and either way, we'll be waiting.
Yeah, I think she nods. Would you like to ask her your second question now? You have one more.
Yes. And my second question is having kind of done all this, I will say, I suppose, like, what I'm asking is, how are you vulnerable to me? But what I'm saying is, I hope you understand that it is not a small measure of trust that I have extended to you.
Yeah. I think she says, she nods and she says, "Oh, I know. And I hope we can work together on this. I really do." And I think how she is vulnerable to you is precisely that she knows that she has to be totally honest with you.
Yeah.
I think that, and so she will just say it, I think, and she says, the reason my brother gambled so freely was that there were directions to some kind of treasure sewn inside his coat. I believe it to be genuine. And I intend to find it.
Fine. Let's get the coat first. Figure out if there is any treasure. Then I can ask some people if they'd be willing to go with you.
That is
3 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
What you do on your off time, I don't give a shit about. And you're not the same person out there that you are in here.
I understand. And I appreciate you extending me this olive branch. And if I work here, well, I should be able to at least get a look at that.
I sure hope you will.
Yeah. All right. Add the Disco Gilgamesh as one of your employees.
I love doing business with normal, sane people.
Yes, you now have a treasure hunter with a murdered brother as one of your employees.
Yeah.
Nice that life is going well for one of us. That's pretty normal.
Hey, yeah. I did roll quite badly, which is why I sent Professor Fulminia after you. And if he dies, I'm going to be really sad.
Yes. Yeah.
Because he's my best regular, and I will have lost him in session 1.
Yeah. All right.
I will need a new best regular. It's going to be my next project. Okay, yeah, go on.
I think we'll cut away there to Tar Minotaur.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tar Minotaur, you are on the floor, surrounded by people. The grace for you here is that they can't quite very quickly reload these weapons, I think. And so they will have to, I mean, you're still lying down, and they can definitely beat you with other implements on their persons.
Yeah,
but, you know.
Let's take a look at shrapnel guns. Yeah, 2 harm, close, messy reload, for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm on the floor, getting bonked around in the armor. It's not fun. I'm going to have some visions of death, if I may.
Okay, yeah. Have some visions of death.
I missed.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, I guess we know what you see.
Okay, what does it say on a miss?
You foresee your own death and accordingly take -1 throughout the battle.
Okay, so I think the vibe here is that Perfidelity has opened her mind to the psychic maelstrom, and you are not exactly doing that, but you see visions of death, right? And I think the interesting way to spin this, to add to not just you taking -1, is that not only do you see visions of death, but you see some snippet of this vision that Perfidelity had of Fennec actually exceeding you, of Fennec becoming in some way greater than you.
Well, we can't have that. Well, but I can see them. They're down to the table right now or something, right?
Yeah, they are.
But I can see the guys.
There are 4 people up above who are like at this moment, right? They are like stomping on you through your armor. One of them is like drawing a knife, trying to find a chink, etc. It's like it's because you are armored that they haven't been able to just kick you to death.
Yeah, none of them have reloaded yet. Okay, well, it's just what it is. I'm going to draw my revolver, shoot 2 of them, take my machete out, start hacking at them as I stand up. At least that's the idea. Yeah. So when I do battle, I get to roll 2 pairs of dice, and then I get to assign them to keeping acting under fire and attacking people.
Yes. Yeah, let's just do the standard do battle here. I was wondering if I should make it a move, but let's just do it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that's another miss, and that's an 11.
Well, you add something. You add something to them, right? You add.
So one of them you'll take a -2 to, and the other one you'll take a +1 to, right? Because you've got the ongoing -1, and you've got a -1 in cool and a +2 in hard.
Yes, so I can basically turn them both into
7 to 9. Yeah.
Yeah. Or I can just keep them as they are, essentially. Right?
So, yeah. Do you want both to be 7 to 9, or do you want to succeed really well on something and fail on something?
So what sort of harm am I looking at normally?
So I think for now they are still attacking you with implement. I think they must deal at least 1 harm base. They are more than you, so that's 2 harm.
Okay. Negated by my armor.
Yeah, and the question is if you lying down means something here.
Maybe.
I'm going to say that the fact that you are lying down and they are trying to stab through chinks in the armor actually gives you 1 less armor. I think that's fair.
Okay, that's fair. So I take 1 harm.
So you would take 1 harm if
Unmodified.
you don't take extra harm. Yeah.
Okay. Whereas I'm doing 3 harm. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to double down. I'm going to add the +2 to the 11 and the +1 to the 11, making it 12, and the -2 to this mess, making it 4. So I'm going to take terrible harm. So I'm going to take 2 harm.
Yep, that's 2 harm after armor. Yep.
Yeah. And I'm going to inflict terrible harm. And if there's anyone who's still alive, I'm going to get them out of my way.
Okay, so how much is terrible harm before armor?
So it's revolvers and machetes. That's both 3 harm.
Okay, and your
machete is brutal, which means it has to be the maximum amount of harm or something. But
yeah. And you are dealing terrible harm, so you do 4.
And they have armor, so 3 harm.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to count the fact that they are more than you at the moment because it just does not seem to fit. So they beat you up pretty badly. You do take 2 more harm. However, you do 3 harm to them, which isn't quite enough to kill all of them, but it's definitely enough to get all of them out of your way. So tell me how you kill 1, wound another, and scare the other 2 off.
Okay, so I think I shoot 1 in the face, as I said, and that I think gets them interested.
Yep.
And then I probably shoot at another one, and I miss, and that probably causes them flinch back, which gives me enough space to work with to get my machete out and kind of just cut one of their throats open. And by that time I'm standing up, and there's probably 1 of them still there, and they probably take a run for it, and I'm probably a bit discombobulated, which is why this shot misses.
Yeah, and so normally you would take the harm move here. But what I'm instead going to ask you to do, playing a little bit with the rules, is that I think you are trying something challenging in dashing across the room. So instead of taking the harm move, I'm just saying that the fact that you have been beaten up and are quite injured makes dashing across the room to get to Perfidelity actually challenging. Is it fair?
Yeah. Okay, cool. And I took how much harm did I take? 2 harm, right?
2 harm total on top of the 2 you took. So you have 4 in total now, which is pretty bad. You are...
Yeah, it's not good. I'm marking XP as well. I have to remember that. Well, not XP, advancement. So I have to, if I want to get at Fennec, Garibaldi, and my squire, I have to do something challenging, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
And the challenging thing here is just to rush across the room, knocking aside a table while terribly injured. If you weren't injured, I don't think that would be any problem for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. So that's +1.
Yeah.
That's a 9.
It's a 9. So, on that 7 to 9, ask the MC what it will cost you and decide for yourself whether to go through it. So, I think in this case, what it will cost you is... Yeah, I think the 2 people you didn't injure, one of them is critically injured, one of them is dead, but the 2 people you didn't injure, the cost here is that you will, tunnel vision, not see what they are doing at all.
Okay.
You can choose not to go through with it, I believe.
Yeah.
You can. So you can try to, stay and deal with them, or you can let them disappear into the periphery of your vision and lose track of them entirely.
Mm-hmm. No, my squire's in danger. I lift that. I lift the table up and I toss it, and it's not like I fling it away like it's nothing, but it's like a genuine effort sort of thing. I push it. Yeah. It's a big heavy table, I imagine, right? And push it aside.
It is, and I think the vibe is what you see is Fennec had drawn a pistol, but it's in the wrong. It was in the arm that got broken now. So what Fennec is trying to do is to switch that pistol to his left hand, or he was. But I think as he sees you shove the table aside, he is no fool. Like, he realizes that somehow you are still alive, and that's terrifying. And so he's going to just, like, not withdraw the pistol, like, right, just drop it on the floor, and raise his hand and surrender.
Okay. Spotlight still on me, or is Perfidelity going to go?
I think we can rope in Perfidelity here. You were taken out of the action, but stunned, and the fight is effectively over. So, like I said, you weren't unconscious, just kind of unable to fight. But now you don't necessarily have to fight. So you see this happen. What do you do?
Oh, yeah, I think Perfidelity is trying to struggle on one good arm, and the other is weak and difficult to maneuver, struggling up. But I don't think there is a voice at the moment yet. They've just been struck, they're ill. I think they bend over and they vomit on, she vomits on, probably at Tar Minotaur's feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Tar Minotaur, adding to the situation, your squire has been injured. This enemy is surrendering, sort of, at least not actively fighting back.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I wanna look this person in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
I want to look them right in the eye, and I want to know if they're beaten or not. I'm going to read them.
Okay. Go ahead.
Is it a feint?
Fair enough.
Yeah. -1. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
There
it's a
have been
miss.
so many misses too. Okay.
Yeah.
So ask one anyway.
Okay.
Be
Which
prepared for the
is
worst.
read a person. Are you telling the truth?
Yeah. So the vibe here is, I know exactly where this goes badly. So you see that Fennec is absolutely going like, yes, I surrender. There is nothing not genuine about this. Fennec has by now realized that maybe we can compromise. Maybe the work of Perfidelity isn't actually heretical and bad. Maybe the tower has chosen another person. Like, this is not exactly how I wanted it to go, but I'm fine with surrendering. We can talk about this.
Okay.
It is a genuine surrender. The reason why this goes wrong is that one of the two people you didn't keep track of is not surrendering and shoots you in the back.
Ooh.
Ow.
So do I just take the damage?
Yes.
This is going well, guys.
Yeah,
So it's just one person, though.
it is. So it's just the harm from one of these rifles. So it's...
There's nothing.
That means
so I
it's
just
two harm.
make.
So you
Yeah,
just
but-
make the harm move flat. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see how it goes.
Mhm.
Do I take a -1 to this? Because I still, or is there a
Oh, yeah.
battle?
I think it's fair. Yes, it's still a
Yeah.
battle. You still have visions of death. So actually it's 2d6 -1.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
So I can go. It's a 7. Okay. Could be worse.
All right.
At this point, it just could be worse.
Yes, it absolutely could. So, when you suffer harm on a 7 to 9, you lose. You miss noticing something important. You lose your footing. You lose your grip on whatever you're holding. Okay, I'm gonna go with, just because I think this is interesting, and because it spotlights Perfidelity. I think you lose your footing. Again, you're just shot with a lot of force, so you're knocked forward. But the reason why losing your footing is bad is that you fall on Perfidelity.
Ooh. I'm heavy.
Yeah.
How's
And
that going
so-
for you?
Yeah, and so Perfidelity also takes 0 harm and make the harm move. Let's have these
Incredible.
chain into each other.
Oh,
That's a miss.
That's
I'm
a
heavy.
miss. Yeah.
sorry.
Okay. So I think.
It's like some 90 kilograms or something.
Yeah. What makes sense here? Yeah. What the hell? Let's just have you take 1 harm armor piercing because you have a heavy armor person fall on you.
Okay, then.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. More than 90 kilograms, in fact, if I think about all the weapons and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, wow.
And I
That's
think.
probably a good 200 kilos.
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
this-
okay.
This hurts. And I think another consequence of just this going badly, which I think just happens, is that the person who shoots you and then realizes you're still not dead, fucks off.
Okay.
Classic.
But Fennec is surrendered, yeah?
Yeah, Fennec is surrendered. The 2 surviving goons are escaping. And I think they are just automatically escaping because of this tangle of you falling over on top of Perfidelity. There's no one who can stop them.
Okay. Then I think what happens is, with a sort of like soft grunt, Terminator Azda-Kush kind of like puts herself up on her knees and then holds Perfidelity grabs Perfidelity and kind of like drapes Perfidelity's arm over her shoulder and then stands themselves both up.
Mm-hmm.
Looks down at Finnick Garibaldi and then says, "Are you satisfied with the outcome of your negotiations?"
I see that the tower has spoken. I must accept it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was he said about the square thing? Or was it like an unspoken thing?
Well, he said, then you must come back to the tower, and you are not a knight squire, then you are chosen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's what he said.
Yeah. I think I look at him and I say, "You have suggested that you have the authority to decide whether my squire is still my squire or not. You must revoke this statement."
I cannot. It's not my word, it's the tower's. And I think he genuinely, fanatically believes in it. So there's kind of an unstoppable force meets immovable object. What he is telling you is, I don't say this, I'm saying it's destiny.
I feel like it's been made clear which force is more unstoppable than which object. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think I see this, and I do respect the cult of Saint Philomena.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my cult.
Yeah.
I think we'll have time to delve into the relationship with the knights and this cult later, but I respect it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I just look at Perfidelity and say, "The choice of leaving my service or not is yours and mine, not his. Do you leave me now?"
No, no, master. I'll stay with you. Please, can we just go home?
And I look at Finnick again, and I say, "Are we at an impasse?"
I will go to the tower. If you will come with me, it will decide. And there is treatment there for your wounds.
She will decide, not you.
Mr. Garibaldi, sir, I really appreciate the request for my presence, but I am very much over being told what I must do and what I have to do by the tower and the maelstrom as it stands. So I think I will be politely declining your invitation at this point, and perhaps maybe when I revisit, we can talk. Is this amenable? Or am I going to have to break the other's shoulder?
I think this is a roll. I think that you are trying to reason with someone again.
I'm backing your play 100%. I'm right here.
Okay. Cool. Then back the play. So you roll history.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
Perfidelity rolls.
I miss, but I'm right here.
Oh.
Okay. So, I think on a miss, we will just give... Not complicated here. We will just give Perfidelity a -1.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I'm reasoning. I think I'm confronting. And I've got a -2 to this, which makes that a nice -3. So
okay, yeah.
what's the chance of missing?
It's true. You're confronting them.
What were you saying about power gaming again?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what will happen.
Wow.
If only that was a minus.
So, I
a
guess what we're
1.
learning about Finnick Garibaldi in this situation is that Finnick is actually ambidextrous.
And who is
so
shot?
And is quite capable of... Well, obviously, I'm sorry to say this, but obviously the person that it makes sense to shoot is Tar Minotaur, because if there is no master, the tower will have its way.
Okay. And what am I shot with?
Yeah, I said it was a pistol, so like a revolver.
Okay. That's one. So is it? So, do I see him going for it, or is a penalty to the miss? Do I just get shot?
I think you see him going for it. Yeah.
Okay.
I think
then
you can do something.
Okay, then I think we must shoot each other.
Okay, sure. The consequence of this will be, like, you can tell me if you want to make this a play, if you want to make this a move. Otherwise, I think you just exchange harm. Like, I think that just happens. He has no way of avoiding it. So.
Okay.
Yep. You take whatever the harm is for a revolver, and he takes whatever. Well, you were also using, I guess. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you both take revolver harm. He dies.
Okay.
That's
3 harm in total. I have 2. So that means I am at. You
are 1 harm away from death.
Yeah. Let's make that harm move as well.
Yeah.
C'est incroyable.
-1. Does this still count as the fight? Do I have my -1 on?
Yes, I think so, because you had visions of your own death. So.
So I miss.
Okay. So what I think happens here, because this is interesting and this sets us up interestingly for next session, is that Fennec dies, and there are now corpses inside this house. And Tar Minotaur, you take this shot, and it is not that you are like shot and you are knocked out. You will be knocked unconscious and too weak to act or move, and you are bleeding out. So I'm taking you out of the action, and I'm taking you out of the action pretty much for the start of next session. So you are too weak to do much of anything. You are critically injured. You are hit with a bullet, and your life is in Perfidelity's hands.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, so there's nothing you can do to save yourself. That is the consequence of this harm move going back poorly.
All right. Yeah, I mean, so I'm on the 90-11. So if serious, you need medical addition to stabilize it, unstabilized, and more medical addition to heal it. So it'll get just worse by itself.
Yep. And if it gets worse at this point, you die. So
yeah. All right.
So I will give you one last moment in the spotlight, Perfidelity, as this happens, as they shoot each other, as Fennec Garibaldi dies, and as your master collapses with a bullet wound. What do you do?
What do I do indeed? Perfidelity puts a hand over her mouth, breathes in, breathes out, picks up the bodies and begins dragging them out, saving her master for last. And we walked here. There is no way that I'm going to be able to drag her body back. I think pulls out needle and thread and starts stitching. And I am not an angel.
Yeah.
So is it an act under fire to do this?
I think I will leave this as a cliffhanger for next session, actually.
Nice.
I think this is, if you're both okay with it.
Yeah, for sure. Salty, do remember, this guy had a 4 harm hunting rifle, and you should keep that.
Yeah.
Fuck the shrapnel.
You only have 2 hands, and if you're using one of the hands to carry the hunting rifle, then the other hand may not be able to carry your master, but you know?
Yeah, but the idea is to treat the injury here, and I think this is an interesting place to open next session on.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
And lastly, let us cut back to Lady Iskandaric.
Yes.
Don't die.
Okay, so we're doing a pincer movement on
and
Professor Fulminia.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that you see this. So I think the vibe is you see this tower, and the Tower of Cubes it's partly collapsed and partly sunk into the earth, but it is made of old cubed cars in the very long time ago, like compressed scrap metal cubes.
Yeah.
They have been chained together, bolted together by whatever means. And this is an old structure that has been used for many things at many times, but it is now partly collapsed. And I think Fulminia is retreating from it. Like, he's not an idiot. He's not going to take you on all alone.
Oh, no, you don't.
Uh-huh.
You bastard.
Hey, he's a nice guy. He's just trying to do what's best for him and his family.
Yeah. So, what do you do?
I think we're faster than him.
Okay. So now I think we can use the behind the wheel moves because I'm interested to see these.
Yeah.
So let's see how this move works. First of all, what is your vehicle's impulse? It's a fight danger and okay. So in this situation, I don't actually think that you are defying danger. So I think you're trying to rein your vehicle in. When you're behind the wheel and you rein your vehicle in, you're forcing it to deny its impulse and pursue some other impulse or goal instead. In this case, just to be fast, not to be dangerous. Because you're hunting down a fleeing guy. Say what you're making it do and roll hard. On a 10+, it obeys. On a 7 to 9, it exceeds but grudgingly. On a miss, it defies you.
Hard. Oh, okay. This should be easy. Oh, it's a 7. Thank God.
Okay. So it exceeds but grudgingly. It tries to find a balance between your goal and its defiance. Ask the MC what balance it finds and what happens. So the balance it finds here is that you are going to caught up with Professor Flaminia, but Professor Flaminia is a knight and not without resources. And so Professor Flaminia has, I want to say a snowmobile because that's
sure. Go on, then.
Yeah. And so the combination here is that Flaminia gets in his vehicle, is about to speed away, and the balance between your goal of catching up with Professor and its defiance of hurting someone is that you collide with the snowmobile.
Excellent.
Okay. Why not?
Yeah. Like, it's a tricky situation. You can't quite see what he's doing. He jumps down out of sight. He starts up a vehicle. You try to take the corner and you just collide with him.
Yeah.
And so I think both of you fly off the vehicle. And how much do we think that a crash does in terms of harm? Let us just say that, it's a crash, but it's perhaps relatively benign. So let's say that both you and him take 2 harm, but it's armor piercing because it's a crash.
Okay. Yeah.
And of course, he is more badly hurt by this than you are. And you sort of have the initiative. You got to make. So you crash into him. Both of you are quite hurt. Both of you fall off your vehicles because they're vehicles you sit on. You don't generally remain sitting on them after you collide. And you sort of roll around in the snow behind the Tower of Cubes. And wind up more or less on top of each other. This kind of accidentally wrestling situation.
Okay, if I have the initiative, I will try to incapacitate him by smacking him in the head with the butt of my rifle.
Okay, sounds like you are doing battle as well. So roll 2d6 and then roll 2d6 again, and then pick which is defense and which is offense. Yeah.
Okay, so that's 1 3.
Okay. One thing goes badly, either your offense or your defense, and let's see about the other one.
You sure these die aren't loaded?
Mm-hmm.
And a 110. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so your stats really don't matter here because you rolled so differently. So one of these is spent dealing damage, and if you choose the 10 to deal damage, I think it's fair to say that you just knock him out. If you want to incapacitate him, then that's what you do with a 10.
Well, I want him to be able to answer questions.
Okay,
so,
pin him down, whatever you want to do. Yeah. With a 10+, you do it. I think that's a fair read of the attack. On the other hand, if you miss your defense, then you take terrible harm in the process. Or you can flip them, in which case you take little harm if you're good at defending. And let me see about attacking. What happens on a miss? Is there anything specified? No. So, yeah, I think if you choose to prioritize defense here, you will take little harm. But I think he will... I think he will escape then. I think that's the interesting, hard-framed situation.
Yes, and I would love that so that I can still hang out with him and stuff.
He might survive if he gets interrogated also.
Yeah.
But
you might be making trouble for me, but I wasn't going to,
Yeah, so it's up to you. You choose basically at this point. Either he escapes, but you are more or less unharmed, or you are quite injured, but you manage to wrestle him down and take control of him.
No, this raid has to continue. I can't be hurt now.
Okay. I think the vibe here is then you wrestle, you avoid harm. He flings you aside. You have 1 armor, yeah. So yeah, so you're fine. I think he might have dealt 1 harm. Your armor absorbs it. I'm not going to bother with the harm move, partly because we're running out of time.
Mm-hmm.
And also he's getting away anyway. So he shoves you aside. He bolts up, and I think he manages to get back on his snowmobile. That's basically it. Like, you have a bit of a wrestling. He kicks you away. He gets back up on the snowmobile, which I guess survived the crash relatively well. It just like tipped over, and he's a big, strong guy. So he rights it up with a big groan and a roar. And then he rides off. And the reason why your crew can't pursue him is that they are busy looking into Luca, because they have discovered that he is down. And they, at this point, realize that they must prioritize protecting him and you. Both of their leaders have fallen. So they...
You know what they say about falling leaders.
Yeah. So they gather up around you. And I think the last shot we see is Thick as a Brick pulling up on his 4-wheeler. Rolling off of it is his very elegant, nice fur coat.
Mm-hmm. Nothing suspicious about that.
Yeah, and he looks down, like grabs your hand and pulls you up and goes like, so boss, what's the plan? And he smiles broadly.
That was Thick as a Brick sounds
yes.
like.
And I think that's where we will wrap the session, because we're out of time and it's a nice shot to end on.
You've been listening to Desperate Attune Season 3, called No Anthem. I've been your host, Holly. With me have also been Zoheb, Aadiyat, Salty, and Tree. If you'd like to support our show, you can do so at patreon.com/desperateattune, which will give you access to our Discord and also give you access to our episodes 1 week early. If you'd prefer a one-time donation, you can do so at ko-fi.com/desperateattune, or you can buy our book Sunmirror at desperateattune.itch.io. The intro music is Steady Now by Waterflame, and the outro music is Ready Now, also by Waterflame. Our logo design is by Fahim Anzum Rumman. Thank you for listening to Desperate Attune, and we hope to see you again next episode.